What's up guys, Alex Wallace here from Wallace Training Systems, and everybody else is doing it, so I figured why not us? Today I'm going to show you some exercises you can do from home for your core. So the first thing I want to show you is something that I think a lot of people don't do correctly. Some people do it correctly, but I would say most people do it in a way that aggravates their lower back. So if you have low back issues, which I think most Americans do, maybe surprisingly, it's probably alleviated right now since we're all not sitting at desks, but low back issues, a lot of people are afraid to do this exercise, but I think it can be modified in a way that anybody can do it. So it's just a short range of motion crunch. So I'll show you how to do this. A lot of people try to sit way up on their tailbone. Don't think that's the best way for most people. I think your best bet is a short range of motion crunch. How I like to do that is I bring my feet up, feet flat, and then I just try to touch my ankles. So I'm thinking all movement occurs from my belly button up. So I keep my lower back nice and flat, but I'm still gonna crush my abs with this. So I keep my feet up and flat, and all I'm trying to do is touch my ankles. That's the goal. Some of you might not be able to do that, but ideally that's the goal. Again, low back stays flat, and I reach up and touch my ankles. The next exercise I want to show is a leg raise, but in a modified fashion. So again, this is something that a lot of people say really aggravates their lower back. So some people will actually put their hands behind their lower back. I think there's a better way to do that. So again, I'm always thinking about keeping my low back flat throughout the entire movement. And I do that by crunching up and then kicking my feet out. That, I can actually feel my low back staying flat. If I come too low, then yeah, a lot of pressure on my low back. So I only move through a range of motion where I keep my lower back nice and flat. And again, I do that, I basically keep my lower back flat by coming up into that first crunch movement and then moving with my legs. So those are two movements that actually do a little bit of flexion of your abs. I think a lot of people like that, they feel that. Now I'll show you a couple stabilization exercises. So the first stabilization exercise I think we all know and love is the plank. So I'll show you the basic way to do it, and then I'll show you the more advanced way to do it. So obviously the basic way to plank is to think about stacking your elbows and shoulders, kicking your feet back, having your knees up in the air, and flexing your abs. Boom. That is just your basic plank. A couple mistakes I see is people aren't actually activating their abs, so their plank kind of looks like a bridge that's breaking. So what I always think about is flexing my abs and my butt like somebody's gonna kick me right in the guts. So again, I'm not up like a teepee, but my back might look a little more raised than here, but that's only because I'm flexing my abs. Boom, it makes a world of difference. Again, takes all pressure off your lower back and puts it on what you're trying to work, namely your abs. So that's just a standard plank. Here at Wallace Training Systems, when people get really good at the plank, what we'll do is we'll throw a weight on their back, assuming their technique is good. That way we can actually load that movement, and you can really feel it in your abs. Again, if done correctly. If done incorrectly, you'll feel it in your back. Plank's done correctly, you feel in your abs. So this is the long lever plank. This is like the next step up. Say you're working out by yourself, you don't have plates, nobody to put any weight on your back. The long lever plank is a way to make this much, much harder. So if the standard plank is here, again, elbows stacked right under the shoulder. The long lever plank is out here. So I'm increasing the distance from the actual moment. Instead of it being from my elbow to my feet and my abs have to support that, it's from my hands to my feet. So again, how I like to set this up, start in a normal plank, then reach my hands out. What I see a lot of people do wrong with the long lever plank is they just look like this. They look like a cat warming up. It's not what we're doing. You still want to try to keep your back parallel to the ground and flex your abs hard. That will drastically improve the difficulty of the plank. Now I want to show one more core stabilization exercise that anybody can do from home, as long as you have something like a gallon of water or even a gallon of laundry detergent. So the final exercise is a purse carry or a suitcase carry. So basically all you need is weight on one side. It doesn't matter really how much Obviously, the heavier the weight, the more difficult it is. But my advice is to start light and then build up from there, because a lot of people do this wrong. How I advise people to handle this, we do this a lot here at Wallace Training Systems. Let's pretend this is just a gallon of laundry detergent. You stand up straight and then you just walk. I try to walk in a straight line. So you should feel your abs working for sure if you're doing this correctly. After you go X amount of distance, let's say you take so many steps or you walk the length of your room, your living room, you switch hands and then you walk back. Again, I'm not leaning, I'm not letting it drag me out of a straight line. The whole purpose of this is to basically activate the abs on your side, your obliques, if you care what they're called, and you walk. So I'm really thinking about staying upright. Don't let the weight drag behind you. If anything, hold it a little bit out in front of you. You'll really feel your abs working that way. So the next question everybody's probably answering is, how many reps, sets, whatever should I do? That depends on your experience level, but I would say a good place to start, let's say you're doing the crunches first thing. I'd run through all these exercises every other day. Say you're doing the crunches first thing, I'd go about a rep or two shy of failure. Same thing with the leg raises. With the planks, I'd go until I feel like my form's breaking down or I'm just about to fall. I'd stop there. With the purse carry, it's really hard to have a metric for failure there. So you can probably change your technique and walk forever if you had to, or at least for a very long time. Kind of unrealistic to do that to failure or to close to failure. I would just have some distance. Let's say it's your living room, let's say it's your hallway, and I would do 3 rounds of that. So again, rep or 2 shy of failure on all these exercises or some metric of distance. I do 3 rounds of that. As you get better and better, hopefully this quarantine doesn't last long enough that you actually have to improve drastically. But let's say it does, let's say it goes on for a month, maybe you add a 4th round of that, a 5th round of that. But I would do those exercises every other day. It shouldn't take super long, and it's gonna do a lot to keep your core nice and strong during this time off from the gym. Again, guys, if you like the video, don't forget to like the video. If you're interested in seeing more of our content, make sure you subscribe. I'm Alex Wallace from Wallace Training Systems, and thanks for watching.